what would be one or two misconceptions we as students might have about terrorism?
I think probably the biggest misconception is 9/11 was a long time ago for somebody who's 19 years old. I mean, it was almost, what, 14 years
I
ago?
was in fourth grade.
Exactly. So, for instance, most of the students in my class were in grade school when 9/11 occurred. So that seems like a really long time ago. And I think the biggest misconception is that the threat is dissipated. Al Qaeda has been disabled, neutralized, and we really don't have to worry about it like we did on November 10th of 2001. That's far from the truth because Al Qaeda and a lot of its spawn, such as ISIS and ISIL, and a lot of these other groups are actually as lethal, if not more lethal. So we need to stay vigilant. We need to keep them away from our borders. We need to keep them from coming onto the United States and wreaking havoc.
Also, for the American government, what do you see as the appropriate way of obtaining information from alleged terrorists?
We really lost our way. In the aftermath of 9/11, we cut a lot of corners. We lost the high moral ground that we had. Our national policy has been since the Carter administration, human rights are important. And as the lead country in the world, we had to practice that. And I think we did a pretty good job. We held other countries accountable for violations of human rights. And then 9/11 occurred, and that administration, for about a 4 to 5 year window, allowed violations of basic human rights. And I'm talking torture, I'm talking abusive interrogation techniques, and that simply stands contrary to what the United States stands for. And besides the moral and biblical issues about abusive interrogation techniques, it doesn't work. I mean, the most effective interrogation techniques is humane treatment. And we've known that since a missionary named Sherwood Moran found that out during the World War II era when he interrogated Japanese POWs. He was the most effective interrogator we had, and he was humane. He sat them down, they had a nice conversation, and over time rapport and trust was built, and he got information. Compared with his colleagues that used screaming, yelling, threats, things that simply don't work. So the United States woke up, they fixed the problem. There's a Detainee Treatment Act. Senator John McCain tellingly was the lead for that. So we made some huge mistakes. We lost some moral standing, but I'd like to say that we're back on track for humane treatment of terrorism suspects.